It's very much a dad adage. The we needed this when it comes to the rain, and with it being Father's Day weekend, upon us, it makes perfect sense. So again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Want to go and wish them. Hope you get to do whatever it is you want to do. But I'm sure there's a honey-do list as well. But let's go ahead and dive in with this question: should people on the edge of retirement delay their plans? Here's University of San Diego finance professor Dan Riccotto on Fox Business.
The message here is if you were planning to bail now or maybe next year, if you're really close to retirement, chances are that retirement dream has now been delayed at least a little bit. The markets give, the markets take, and this year they took. Really, the key action now is to try to boost, if you can, your contributions into your 401k. Don't abandon stocks completely, but review that portfolio. Make sure it's working for you relatively safely as you approach, hopefully, retirement.
Now, I'm sure there were people who were exiting 2019, going into 2020, thinking, I'm probably going to retire the next couple of years, that have maybe taken a step back and pause, wondering if they should delay their retirement. What are your thoughts on what Dan said there?
Well, I think that could be a concerning topic, I guess, for a lot of people, even regardless of the downturn in the market that was in 2022. It's a common question. I think people, when they walk in the office, is, do I have enough money? Am I going to be comfortable for the rest of my lifetime? That's the number one biggest fear of people, is outliving their income. So if you're wondering that question, should I delay my retirement? Or, am I confident to move into retirement time? One of the things that we can do for our listeners is we can run a retirement stress test for you. So we can help you answer that question. Specifically, what we'll do is we'll take your financial inventory, we'll put it in our software, we'll stress test the numbers, and what it'll do is it'll give us what the probability of success is. So, in an hour time frame, what we can do is go through looking at, thousands of different scenarios. Like, what if the market continues to crash? What if healthcare costs go up? What if tax rates double? We'll look at all these different scenarios and be able to give you the probability of success when we crunch a couple of thousand different possible scenarios. And then in addition to that, when we stress test a plan, we'll look at what some of the biggest disasters are that could, destroy your retirement, and then give you common sense ideas on how to eliminate some of those. So if you want to get that retirement stress test and answer that question, should I delay your retirement? You want to move into retirement confident and make sure that you're going to be comfortable to be able to live the lifestyle that you enjoy. Give us a call. 419-794-3030 is how you get a hold of us. And again, if you're one of our radio show listeners or YouTube subscribers, that's something we'd be happy to provide for you and give you that information. It's complimentary. But when you look at it, I'd say, have you stress test the numbers? I know, Scott, one of the biggest things I think that somebody looking to retire early is really concerned about is the area of like healthcare costs.
Sure, absolutely. You have to be prepared for what is that cost going to look like for you, right? Because pre 65, you're looking at the marketplace, and it's income based, it's income driven, so it's kind of that's how you and I worked so well together over the past 18, 19 years is. We will put a plan together, making sure that we maximize the premium tax credit for anybody that's looking to retire prior to 65. One of the things we do is we'll look at reportable income. A Roth IRA is not reportable income when it comes to the marketplace. And, a novel concept, right? How in the world are we writing health insurance without asking any health questions? No health questions. So we don't care really what your health is at the time. I mean, we care that, you're healthy and everything, but as far as putting together a plan, your health doesn't really come into play. Kind of writing a long-term care policy or a life insurance policy, it's medically underwritten. Health care prior to 65 is not medically underwritten at all. It's based on your income.
Yeah, so having that income plan is a way to figure it out. I can think of dozens of clients that we've helped with. So if you're thinking of retiring, even it's going to be maybe January of 2024, that's not too far off. There is some specific steps you can take right now to make sure that you, if you're going to retire before the age 65, can look at ideas and strategies on how to minimize your healthcare costs. But when, deciding to delay your retirement, it's kind of it's a complex decision. It depends upon a lot of different factors, healthcare being just one of them. And, we can provide some general considerations. It's important really to make sure that you consult with a professional, somebody who understands the retirement market, maybe a retirement specialist, evaluate your specific situation. I know, Jeremy, one of the things that you do in helping out in a lot of the cases is when looking at the issue of financial readiness is developing this comprehensive plan where you crunch the numbers and put stuff together. How are you trying to help address the question of, can I retire now or do I need to wait till later?
Well, we're fortunate that we live in a time with technology being that it is, that we have, Nolan, you talked about some software and stress testing. We have a number of different outlets and a number of different softwares we can use and look at it at multiple angles. And I know for each individual situation, it's different. I can think of 2 clients off the top of my head. I have a client, he's 55, he's a retired police officer, and he was, for lack of a better term, kind of forced into retirement. And he has a pension. It's great. It's fortunate that he was able to retire at 55, but his pension doesn't have a cost of living adjustment. So that's, if you think about people living longer, he could, go 30 years with having that same set amount that he's getting today, 30 years from now, is going to be a little bit different for him.
Yeah, I might need to compartmentalize maybe an account, a bucket of money ultimately designed to give them kind of a pay raise in the future. Health is another big area that we talk about, Scott.
No question.
And we looked at this, and we looked at the statistics that are out there. It's about 40% of people who end up retiring early do so because of a healthcare-related issue. Kind of forces them into retirement maybe before what they thought they were going to normally retire at. But evaluating your health and overall well-being, if you're in good health, you enjoy your work, you might choose to work and continue a couple years longer. However, if your health is declining and it's work-related stress is affecting your well-being, early retirement may be a more suitable option. I know last year we went out and had gone out and went fishing on Lake Erie,
right,
caught some walleyes, and it was a gentleman who decided to retire, but still had, another source of income from having his own personal job. Probably had a little less stress out there on Lake Erie.
Absolutely.
Although for me, chasing down walleye or perch is always stressful if you never catch them. But either way, it's a good day on the lake. You think about the social, emotional factors. You think about if you have this free time, what are you going to do to be able to fill that free time? There could be different activities that you have, maybe hobbies. There could be, different social connections that you want to get involved in. There could be, philanthropic work that you want to do. And, delaying your retirement allows you to pursue your personal interests, spend more time with your family, and maybe enjoy more personal activities and how you're going to fill up that time. But then you look at life expectancy and longevity, number 4, and people are living a lot longer. So there are the potential risk of outliving your money. And, one of the things that you want to do is you want to look at how much reliable income versus variable income sources that you have. Look at how much you need on a minimum monthly income need. So, what does it take to cover all of your required expenses? And then you look at, what does your ideal retirement look like? Ideal meaning that money for the go-go times, the travel, the fun stuff. And then try to put as much money into the reliable income sources to cover money and things that would last for your entire lifetime. So that's things like maximizing your Social Security benefits. It could be like, taking the correct pension option. It could be, shifting money into some vehicle that provided you more predictable income that wasn't subject to what the market is. Because number 5, that's the market conditions and economic factors are things that people need to take into consideration. Things like this talk of recession that's going on and on and on, or things like the downturn in the market. Those market fluctuations can make really people feel uneasy about moving into retirement time. So it's kind of a matter of evaluating your financial situation. A lot of people, when they come into our office, what we find is that, they spent a lion's share of their money building their retirement nest egg. Maybe they have all that money in their tax-deferred retirement 401k, which is, usually subject to those market ups and downs. And, maybe they're uncomfortable with the roller coaster ride on Wall Street. And being able to answer that question and give them more confidence and not delaying their retirement is helping to have more predictable income. So again, if you're one of the people that have that question, should I delay my retirement? Get a second opinion. Let us, as professionals, help you answer that question. And again, we can run a retirement stress test. And again, if you're one of our followers and subscribers on YouTube, or if you're one of our listeners to any one of the major podcasts or here on Toledo's largest talk station, we'd be happy to run that retirement stress test for you and give you what your probability of success is.
As a way of saying thank you for joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, 419-794-3030 is the phone number. Maybe the past couple of years have given you pause and you don't think that you're going to be able to retire or have a sustainable retirement anymore. Are you basing that off of emotion, or have you actually run the numbers? Chances are more than likely it is the emotion, but have that stress test run. See where you actually stand right now, and you may find out you're in better shape than you thought, or you may find out that you do need to put some work together, but you'll know exactly what those steps are. So again, take advantage of this offer. Have that stress test run, 419-794-3030, or you can go to the website and schedule a time, arhq.com.